Hey, welcome to week 5 of the Chill Draft League. I'm the coach of the Samurott Jack, and it's actually the night before my game right now. I play pretty early in the morning, so right now I'm going to record a couple changes I made to my team, some free agent swaps, and I'm going to talk about the team I'm going up against. After that will be the game as part of the same video. You'll notice it because my shirt will change and my beer will turn into coffee, and also it'll be timestamped in the description. But we're just going to go ahead and trudge right on here. First thing we're going to talk about is some of these swaps that I made. So what you're seeing here is the team that I had before I made any of these swaps. And the first thing I had to do was choose what I was willing to lose. My team is, right now I'm 3-1, but I just as easily could be 1-3. I've gotten very lucky, especially last week. And I think there were some pretty big holes in my team that I wanted to fill. Before you can add anything, you gotta choose what to lose. It's not just about what you can have, it's what you give away. So, first thing I decided was Noivern. This is actually the one I was least sure about of the three. It's so versatile. Tailwind support, taunt support, but also you could just run it's not the dragon moves that I felt I was losing. It's the fact that all dragons get amazing coverage. You could easily run, specs with flamethrower, thunderbolt, Draco, air slash, and that would run just as well based on who you're going up against. But I think it's something I could lose because I'm losing Tailwind, but also I have a couple of really good Dynamax max air streamers, which those can give me speed control if it's that important. Quash from Sableye also kind of levels the playing field. I just didn't feel, I've brought it into the selection screen once, and I've never actually brought it into a game. It just doesn't add anything that I can't get from somewhere else on my team. So it's something that could go if I felt I needed to. Bisharp was another one. I think its ability Defiant is really good. But in a draft league format, not as much. Because there's just only so many Intimidate users. And there's only so many stat dropping moves. Normal and Dragon. A lot of the max moves that lower stats, you don't want to be using against Bisharp anyway. Because they're just not very effective against him. It's so conditional. It has priority, but even that's conditional priority in Sucker Punch, which is pretty easy to play around. Like I said, I brought it once. I scored a kill off it, but if I was going to lose this, I knew I needed a steel type, because having a good, sturdy steel switching, I think is really important. But Bisharp itself, I just thought wasn't doing enough for me. And the last one was Hitmonchan. Amazing support move pool. I've wanted to make it work. Fake Out, Helping Hand, Coaching. It's got every type of priority you want. It's got Bullet Punch, Vacuum Wave, Mach Punch. It has all the elemental punches, so it has great coverage. The real thing that held it back for me was stats. It just doesn't, it has good special bulk, and that's kind of it. It just didn't, once again, it wasn't doing anything that anyone on my team couldn't do better. So I thought that's easily something I could lose. And, having these as the three I felt comfortable with losing, assuming I replaced some of their, what they brought to the table with something better, gives me some flexibility because I could swap a tier 2 and tier 4 for 2 tier 3s, which I think is important because when I was looking through what was available, there weren't any tier 4s left that I felt really could add something to my team that wasn't already there. Or at least not that I needed right this moment. Maybe something will free up later in the season. Everything else on my team, I didn't want to lose. My tier 1s are solid. My tier 3s are all solid. Lopunny is good. I haven't brought it yet. I brought it into the selection screen twice. It didn't end up going against what my opponent ended up bringing. Well, so there were a few things I was missing, and this is what I wanted to get. I didn't have any slow, bulky hitters. You look at my team, it's pretty fast. It's pretty crowded in the middle speed tiers. I don't really have anything that can sit comfortably if my opponent sets up Trick Room. So something that was sturdier, something that might give me an edge in that situation, I think that's something I really need. A beat up user, optional. I have justified Arcanine, but it's not. I don't really need it because I always can just run Intimidate. I don't have to be cute, you know. Ground and Psychic, I think, were two pretty important things. Ground because I have so many electric weaknesses on my team. Inteleon, Togekiss, Tentacruel, all weak to electric. Uh, so having a ground type switch in, I thought would be very helpful. And on top of that, I don't have anything that can hit poison types well. I think bringing poison is probably good against me because I do rely pretty heavily on Togekiss a lot. And I don't have any. I don't have. Not only do I not have any ground or psychic types, I don't even have any ground or psychic coverage. The closest thing, and I've almost considered doing this a few times, is I can teach Tentacruel Mirror Coat and then max it to get a lower base power max psychic. And that's it. No one else can learn what I need here. So I'm really two big gaps in my coverage options. And then physical attackers. You look at my team, and it's pretty loaded with special attackers, which means my opponents can really take advantage of that. So I think having a little more balance in what I'm holding on my team, especially if I'm losing Bisharp, because now I'm losing one of my, 2 or 3 physical attackers, and I wanted to make sure I stayed relatively balanced. The free agents I was looking at down here, Mudsdale was a huge one. I'm very close to picking this one up because first of all, it's hilarious. But second of all, it combos pretty well with a lot of things. Especially, I was looking specifically at Mudsdale Dugtrio, because Dugtrio has beat up, not only works with my Arcanine, as already mentioned, but I can beat up my own Mudsdale, increase its defense, and if I happen to do this while my opponent has 2 physical attackers out, my Dugtrio will probably outspeed them, and they're trapped because of Arena Trap. They can't switch out. It's so... It's hilarious. But I just couldn't see how reliable that was. It seems pretty obvious. Once again, Dugtrio doesn't combo that well with a lot else on my team other than Arcanine, but Arcanine's probably running Intimidate anyway. And something that really I think holds Mudsdale back is the lack of any sort of recovery. It can learn Rest, and that's it. Caparija, the elephant. Something else, I actually was very close to picking this one. A really durable, sturdy steel type that's slow and also a very good physical attacker. Ultimately, not the direction I ended up going. Raichu, because of Lightning Rod. Marowak was the same thing. I have all this lightning weakness on my team. Problem with Raichu is I couldn't see any situation where I would really want to run Raichu over Heliolisk. They're the same speed. Heliolisk is stronger, and it doesn't have Lightning Rod, but it has 2 very good abilities in Solar Powered Dry Skin, which, considering the amount of Weather Setters I have on my team, my opponent never really knows what's coming. I think being tough to prepare for is something pretty good. Gothita, I really was considering. I didn't like how restrictive it was. It basically always needs Eviolite. It doesn't have that good of a move pool. It's got a decent support move pool. I think it can put up screens. I'd have to double check. Not the direction I'm going. And before I talk about the ones I did pick, Mantine for Tailwind. I just didn't need another electric weakness. And Vikavolt, good, but I don't know that I have the support to make it work. It requires some real dedicated resources, and I don't think I had them on my team. What I ended up going with was Excelgor Palisand out of Tier 3. And this is what I would swap my Bisharp and Hitmonchan for. Obviously, they have the amazing synergy together, where you can do whatever Excelgor's multi-hit water attack priority is on Palisand, activate its weakness policy, increase its defense all the way to +6, +4 minimum. I mean, that's very strong. But also, they're both just independently pretty good in the right scenarios. Palisand having a really strong recovery move in Shore Up, which Mudsdale didn't have, was another reason I picked it. Just a different Mimi high defense ground type. uh, about the same speed. And Excelgor just has an amazing move pool and a really flexible move pool. It has bug type Snarl. It has poison type fake tears that also does damage. It has power and guard swap, which are two moves that I don't think you'll ever see them in your average game, like on ladder, but in a draft format where you're building specifically against one team, I think those very niche moves become a lot more powerful. If I really see someone heavily relying on weakness policy or beat up, or if some other team picks up Mudsdale, being able to come in and steal those boosts. Stealing attack boosts is only okay because they can just kill you, usually, because you're so frail. But stealing defense boosts is amazing, and it also gets baton pass. So it's really a just on its own, I think, a spectacular amount. I'm excited to use it. The problem with getting these two was I would be giving up Bisharp Hitmonchan to do it, and I didn't want to give up Bisharp without getting a good steel type and a good physical attacker in return. So this is what I ended up dropping Noivern for, was for Scizor. I think, like, in a vacuum, Noivern is better than Scizor, but I think I needed to keep that steel coverage. I needed to keep that bulk. I needed that priority. It has an even more reliable priority than Bisharp in Bullet Punch. Only a tiny bit weaker, but it gets Swords Dance. And you can run Scizor multiple ways. There's the kind of classic Swords Dance, Bullet Punch, U-turn, X Scissor, dual wing beat kind of stuff. But then also you can totally run this with, I think, Swords Dance, Agility. I think it learns Iron Defense and Baton Pass. I mean, it's probably better in singles than in doubles. I've never tried in doubles before. But one other thing I like about Scizor is having only one weakness, which is a ×4 weakness in fire, which is similar to Noivern. And Noivern has a ×4 ice weakness. And what that means is if I'm looking at my opponent's team and they have Clefable, it's probably running Ice Beam. Well, Clefable specifically maybe not, because it also learns Fairy types, which is pretty good. But what that means is, like, maybe there's some other move which I can kind of infer it's probably not running as a result. Scizor, only one ×4 weakness. Once again, I see a Clefable. It's probably running Flamethrower, which is good because that's information that I had going in before I even go into the game. I'm like, okay, if it's running Flamethrower, it's probably also running Follow Me. It's probably also running some fairy move. So then it can't also be holding Protect and I don't know, whatever else. I wasn't ready with an example coming in, but I think it'll give me some insight, and I'm excited to use it. Having a good setup guy, having a good steel resist are all positive things. This is it. So that was the team that I had. Now we can look at the team that I do have, which is here. Look at that. See how I did that? So this is what it looks like now. You can see I've got the Scizor, I've got the Excelgor, I've got the Palisand, and this is who I'm up against this week. I think this is a really strong team that I'm going up against. But I also think I might be this person's nightmare matchup. Because I think Inteleon especially matches up against, with Togekiss, matches up against a lot of his team, her team, I think, really well. Because there's the obvious thing that jumps out at you, which is Colossal along with Sneasel. You run Surf, you activate Weakness Policy, Steam Engine, you run through with that. But then also there's Sneasel Virizion, which you can run Beat Up with. Virizion is a justified user, and it's got pretty good, decent speed all on its own. Like, that's a really strong core of 3 to build out from. And then they did so many other clever things. Like, they clearly had a good plan going into this draft. They have Gastrodon. You put it up next to Colossal after you activate the weakness policy with Storm Drain, and you're defending it from one of its 2-4 times obvious weaknesses, which is pretty common. Like, a lot of people run a lot of water coverage. It's a good plan. But Inteleon Togekiss as a lead shuts down both of those leads pretty hard. Because against Colossal, Inteleon does not outspeed Colossal once Steam Engine has been procced, but it outruns Sneasel. So you could just KO the Colossal before Sneasel even hits with Surf. Really strong. One thing they could potentially do is Scarf Sneasel, but that still doesn't help that much because I can just follow me with Togekiss and catch the rock on there, kill him with Inteleon. If he doesn't Scarf Sneasel, he could taunt my Togekiss and protect with Colossal turn 1, which is pretty strong. But then what does he do? Turn 2, I still just outspeed the Sneasel because now I know he's not running Scarf. So it's a really strong lead against that lead, and it's a really strong lead against Virizion Sneasel because both of them have flying coverage. Virizion's 4 times weak to flying. I can follow me to block the beat up. Once again, I naturally outspeed it. This is just... I got to imagine the person running this team has got to be looking at my team and going, oh my gosh, how do I go up against this? What they need to do, if Colossal or Virizion do get going, there's not a lot I can do to stop it, but I really can stop it from start. I used to play this other game way back when I was in high school called StarCraft. And I was watching this guy play, and he was like, I was having a lot of trouble with one specific set someone was running. They were running this mass Void Rays. This was one of my friends in high school. And he would just run mass Void Rays. He would defeat me every time. And I talked to someone, I was watching this video, and they were like, if your opponent's going for this big, complex setup, just go kill them. Because they have to set up. It takes some time to do that. You definitely have a window where you can get in there. And I have a window on this team where if I can get in before the setup, I can do some pretty strong stuff. I think what the Sneasel is ultimately running is really going to affect a lot. Is it running Eviolite? Because that depends. A lot of my team can pretty easily one-hit kill it. But if it's running Eviolite, that obviously drops quite a few options. If it's running Sash, I think that's probably the most likely, but we'll see. I don't know, maybe runs Quick Claw to try to get a blazing fast Surf off after a taunt. We'll see. He has a lot of Prankster users. And priority. Clefable, a really bulky follow me user. Pretty solid. We'll definitely be running Flamethrower, I'm sure, to deal with the Scissor, because he doesn't really have any other fire coverage, which makes Scissor a pretty obvious bring this week. I mean, Colossal obviously has fire coverage, but other than that. So I would not be surprised to see Clefable. Braviary is pretty strong. I don't know if he'll bring it against me. I have a lot of ways to deal with it. Sableye getting Will-O-Wisp. I'm bringing Lycanroc Scarfed, which will outspeed Braviary even after a +1 to its speed. It's pretty good. I think his path to victory is going to run through Cottony, because with that he can set up Tailwind, resolves a lot of the issues with Colossal Sneasel. He still has the problem where once he does set up Tailwind, now he has 2 or 3 turns to get both Sneasel and Colossal onto the field unhurt at the same time, which is a pretty tall ask. But it's definitely one way he can potentially get that combo if he brings it in the back. Leopard, another Prankster user, Fake Out, Fake Tears. We'll see how strong it ends up being. And then the bottom, he's never brought any of this. Basculin has Aqua Jet, I guess, for Colossal, so I should remember that. Something else I need to keep in mind is that Virizion might be running Grassy Glide with a Cottony that's running Grassy Terrain. Definitely something I need to keep in mind, because that's one way it could potentially get through my Inteleon, is with this priority surprise. But I think as long as I know that it's coming, I have a lot of grass resists on my team. Scissor being the huge one. And if... I actually did something funny. Scissor's 1 speed, less than Cottony. I gave it 12 speed EVs. So if he's not running any speed investment, which is not that unlikely, because he's probably running 4 priority moves. It's probably 3 status moves, which get Prankster and Grassy Glide. But if he's not, I actually outspeed it with Bullet Punch, and I think I one-hit kill it. Only one of Cottony and Sneasel can have Eviolite, so whichever one has it, that gives me a lot of information on the other. Something else I gotta watch for: Leopard and Cottony both get item switching moves in Switcheroo and Trick. So I gotta watch for some Prankster switching shenanigans. I think Cottony having something obnoxious like eject button would make sense, because then Sneasel's the one with Eviolite, but we'll see there. The team I'm actually bringing, I've already said a lot of it, but this is it at the bottom over here. Pretty standard Scizor. Life Orb lets me, it lets me get a lot of KOs that I wouldn't get otherwise, like Bullet Punch onto Cottony. I don't think I get without it. I have Swords Dance. Whether I can use it will be really dependent on how the game's going. I can't use it in front of Clefable. It'll just kill me. But I think if I have my Scizor next to my Togekiss, that's pretty good. Because you can follow me Swords Dance and take it from there. Togekiss, I'm actually running a really offensive set this week. I still have Follow Me because it's pretty necessary, but I think there are a lot of situations where my Inteleon could go down, and if so, this is my next max targets. I only really have 2 max targets I'm bringing, which is this and Inteleon, and if I'm planning to max this, I need it to be pretty strong. Sableye, once again, I'm running no attacks. Maybe I'll know this by tomorrow. Maybe I swap Fake Out for Foul Play or something like that, but Foul Play is resisted by so much of his team. Rain Dance I think is pretty important, because without Rain Dance, outside of Sun, my Inteleon can one-hit his Colossal even if he's maxed and I'm not. But if he sets up Sun, nothing doing. So Rain Dance, Quash, I need those for Colossal. Will-O-Wisp is going to help with Braviary and Virizion if I get the opportunity. I just need to make sure, like, if I'm going to bring this, I got to bring it out relatively early, because if I have it in the back, it's not going to be doing a whole lot. We'll see where this goes. Tentacruel, this is with Assault Vest. It's also speed and special attack. I could have gone bulkier, I just didn't want to get a new one. It takes a lot of work. Muddy Water lets me hit Colossal even with Gastrodon on the field, and everything else is coverage. Sludge Bomb for Clefable, Giga Drain. That's the only grass type attack on my whole team because I'm not bringing Excelgor. So that's as soon as he sees I'm not bringing Excelgor, I'm sure he'll bring Gastrodon if he's got it. I think having this in the back to deal with that, it's one of my only ways. My only hope is that if he brings Gastrodon and has a Recover Amnesia kind of set, things really get tough there. I think that's one of the big end games he could use to kind of stall me out towards the end of the game, because, like I said, a lot of my team is special. But we'll see where it goes. Inteleon, this is really my big hitter. I'm running it with Specs, because only with Specs can I one-hit the Colossal outside of Sun, and one-hit the Virizion if it doesn't have Assault Vest, without any setup. I love to run Focus Energy on this guy next to Togekiss. I think it's hilarious. But the problem is, once he does get that policy off on his Colossal, and he starts out speeding me, the Colossal can one-hit my Togekiss. There's not a whole lot I can do. So I gotta be able to come in and just kill it straight with nothing else. And this is what gets me there. So Snipe Shot, Air Slash, because that's my Virizion match. Ice Beam, and then I needed a 4th. I put in Icy Wind. I don't know, maybe I'll switch to like U-Turn or something. I can't see myself ever really using this, but we'll see. And then last, Lycanroc, Scarfed, outspeeds Virizion, outspeeds Braviary, even in +1. I think I'll change I don't think I gave it Stone Edge. I'm glad I'm seeing this, so I'll have to change these moves before I go to bed, but Like almost always it's going to be doing Stone Edge, Rock Slide. Rock Slide kills Sneasel in one hit without Eviolite. Stone Edge kills it with. We'll see what we go. Jolly, of course, because without that I don't outspeed the Bravaria +1, but that's okay. Yeah, that's not on my team. This is the team. The only thing I didn't mention is this guy's got the Rock Berry. He's got a lot of rock coverage on his team. Colossal being the obvious one, but also Verizian learns Stone Edge. I'm sure it'll be a physical Verizian. I think it has equal attack, special attack, but with Justified and its move pool, I'd be very surprised if it had anything but. But that's it. This is what I'm bringing. We'll see how it goes. I think this is a good matchup for me. Might not be. When in 5 seconds, it'll be tomorrow. There we go. All right. I'm here. Look at that. I can't hear the sound. Can you hear the sound? There we go. What did I call it? There it is. Oh, didn't I want citrus? Whatever. Set all to 50. Yeah, that's right. Good morning, everybody. Okay. Yeah, this all makes sense. Wow, okay, no leopard. I also just learned last night that I think Cottony also learns beat up. But I don't think that changes my plan a lot. Oops, not you. 1, 2. Fact that he has Gastron means I want this. And it's really between Intelli and Sableye. Or Scissor Sableye. I think this makes more sense. Because he's got 2 Tailwind setters. And Cottony and the Reviry, so I think I need this. I don't know, Tentacruel is a pretty good max target also, so I've always gotten that in the back. If I really need to, if the game does not start the way I need it to. Alright, this is good. Because we can just snipe shot the Colossal and redirect, and even if he taunts, it means he's not scarfed. Oh, I gotta move this camera over here. Because even if he fakes out the Inteleon, I still take... Togekiss doesn't die, and if he fakes out Togekiss, I just kill the Colossal. I basically, whenever I have Inteleon on the field, I have to snipe shot towards the Colossal. I don't really have a choice. Okay, I don't know how much you do there. Does he switch into Gastron here? Do I just max Hydro? Because he doesn't have Tailwind up. I could Snipe Shot. think I just max Hydro, because if he brings in Gastrodon, I just kill it. I don't need to follow me anymore. Yeah, we'll just take some damage. Okay. Okay, so Snipe Shot would have actually ignored the redirection and killed the Colossal, so maybe this was the wrong move. But now he doesn't have... Like, I think this still puts me in a really good position. Because his Colossal doesn't actually... It's not that much of a threat yet. Because it's not going to have Solar Beam. I don't know if he knows that G-Max Hydro Snipe. Oh, wait. Wait, maybe this is really bad. Maybe I needed this type shot. Oh. Hopefully he goes into the Togekiss. I, like, thought of this exact scenario and decided what I was going to do, and I changed it in battle, and I don't know why I did. Wait, does Max Hydro Snipe also avoid redirection? I know Snipe Shot does. Wait. Is it possible that he's not running Storm Drain? Is that what hits regardless of abilities means? I thought it just meant it avoids like Lapras's Water Absorb. I didn't know it also meant avoids redirection. That means I'm in like a really good spot. Oh. I think we just do this. I don't know if I kill Braviary. I probably outspeed it. I think I'm just going to keep the pressure up. I don't think Hydro Snipe kills Braviary. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so he is running Recover. But as long as he's not running Amnesia, I think I'm still good. Oh, maybe it's bad. Maybe if I had Scissor, I wouldn't be worried. But maybe I am. And then he has Sneasel in the back. Like, Braviary's the only one that really holds a threat to me right now. I'll just do Gleam to cover the switch in. Yeah, he doesn't have anything that has any offensive pressure anymore. Alright. I didn't know Specs. I thought if you Dynamax, Specs didn't take hold. Okay, that's fine. Is there any reason not to do this? I mean, I guess I might as well just do this. Oh, this is where I'll figure out if the Sneasel does in fact have Eviolite, because if it has Eviolite, it'll only do like 2/3. Foul play, okay. Oh, yeah, no. It's gotta have sash or something. Nice. And, like, he doesn't have, I think this is just as strong. He doesn't have, I know I can't fake him out, but I think fake out is enough to just kill. He would be setting up Amnesia if he had it already. Hey, I think that's the first kill Sableye has ever gotten. I mean, I literally don't do anything, so I guess go for flinches so he doesn't recover. If he does flinch, I don't have to reveal that I have Giga Drain. Though I'm sure he suspects it. I am revealing that I brought Tentacruel, but I feel like next, after like how much this didn't work, I feel like next game, he's gonna go Virizion instead. I think I bring Scissor in the back next time. Because I can basically just ignore this Gastrodon, you know? Yeah, we'll keep fishing for flinches. Actually, maybe it's better to just use Giga Drain. Because then I'll know if he has the berry. That could be relevant. I do actually need to kill it. Alright, fine. I mean, I could just switch back into Inteleon, but I'm not that worried about him knowing this. Yeah, he would definitely be setting up Amnesia if he had it. I don't know that he has anything. Probably just Earth Power, Muddy Water, or his Scald. Like maybe Memento. That's a pretty good one when you're relying so much on setting up a combo. It's a good way of getting your guys in. Okay, so no berry. Do I already know what he has? Has he been using like leftovers or something? Flinch! Oh, or just kill. Alright. Alright, so we're gonna have the same lead, because it does cover us against both of the... I don't know, maybe he does lead Cottony this time, but I can't lead Scissor when it's so likely he'll have Colossal on the field right away. Because once he sets up, things become so much harder for me. I think I play it safe. I have the kind of team where I think I can play it safe. I don't need to try to do something crazy. I might just do the same ones. Sableye wasn't doing that much for me. Maybe I do take Scissor. Is that really bad if he gets... I think that's fine, because if he does end up having an Assault Vest, which keeps his Virizion alive, I can just bring in Scissor, who resists everything and threatens with a priority Bullet Punch. Okay, so he is going to try to set up Tailwind right off the bat. Here's the real question, is do I actually kill with... Oh boy, I do. He could fake me out, but I think it's I think it's that important. Wait, am I doing the right one? Does mean I'll be locked into this, but I think that's okay. I think he fakes out the Intellion, so I think this is relatively safe. Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, he's swapping into double coverage, and even if he has Assault Vest, Airstream will still kill him after this. Yeah, he should have led Cottony. Because my only way of stopping Cottony Tailwind is with priority Scissor, and I just didn't feel comfortable with it. Whoa! Okay. Oh, maybe I should have. Max aired. Do I still outspeed him after a +1? Whoa! That did way more than I thought. That shouldn't have happened. Wait. What? Max Hailstorm. Did I get a crit or something? What did I do? What did I do right here? Okay, well, no Tailwind means I can do this pretty safely, and I don't need to follow me because I don't care if he gets the beat up off. Because I'll outspeed him anyway. Oh, jeez. This went really well for me. I should not have... I'm still trying to figure out how I KO'd on that. Even a crit only does 91. Oh, wait. He could protect here. So I think I do this. Because now I just have a 4-on-1 after this. I am locked into, what, Ice Beam, I guess? But that's fine. Because he's not getting the weakness policy, he's not getting the steam engine. Were you hard reading a switch? Can I use this? Oh, okay, this time it did let me. Alright, well, that's that. Good game. Like I said, I think this person had a good team. Like, objectively, it's a pretty scary team. It's just, I am like the nightmare matchup for this guy. The combination of Intelli and Togekiss just, like, shuts down everything he wants to do. But that was a good one. Alright, well, till next week.